What is a niche? We hear it all the time. Some people say niche, some people say niche. It's basically your specialty. That's it. It's not that complicated. What area are you specializing in? So, for example, if you are a hypnotist, are you specializing in anxiety? Are you specializing in self-worth? Quit smoking? Lots of different specialties. So that is your niche. What is your specialty? Now, the confusion comes in when we talk about target market. Target market is who you serve. So, for example, if your niche is anxiety, you may serve busy moms, you may serve entrepreneurs, you may serve healthcare workers. Okay? So, for me, my specialty is self worth. And I actually work with high performers. So people, CEOs, celebrities, people that are wanting to get out there in a bigger way, but the self-doubt is creeping in. So that's my area of specialty. So think about that. And we're going to talk about the benefits of specializing. Why should you have a niche? Why is it important? Well, the most important thing is, how's your tribe going to find you, right? There's so much competition out there. But if you're specializing in a particular area, it's easy for your tribe to find you. All that competition doesn't really matter because they're going to go out there and they're going to search for exactly what it is that you're specializing in. It also helps with marketing. It allows you to be really focused with your marketing because you're talking to a specific group of people. Okay. Now remember that niching and target audience work hand in hand. Both of them are really important. Okay. So the main benefit is people are out there looking for you right now. Your tribe is out there searching for you. And you want to make sure that they can find you. But also, you're going to create raving fans with this. Media is going to come knocking at your door because you're going to be known as the expert. Now, I know that that word expert comes with a lot of fear, perhaps. Oh, who am I? You know, that imposter syndrome kind of kicks in. Who am I to say I'm an expert in anything? But the fact of the matter is that even if you know 5 things more than your audience, you're still going to be able to teach them those 5 things. And the more that you do this, the better and better you'll get at it. So let's just kick that imposter syndrome to the curb and not get a lot of fear around the word expert. You are an expert in your niche, period. Okay? Let me see. There's some comments coming in. Okay. Loud and clear from Seattle. Awesome. Okay. Beautiful. So we talked a little bit about the benefits. So let's talk about the resistance because I know some people are resistant to niching. All right. One of the main things that I hear is, well, if I niche, I'm not going to be able to serve everybody. But the fact of the matter is that if you're serving everybody, you're actually serving nobody because they can't find you. So that is the biggest advantage, right? Is being able to not worry about competition and you're actually going to be more successful, all right? Because they are going to find you. Now, another thing that comes up for people is boredom. If I specialize in something, I'm going to be bored of it because it's so confining. The thing is that you need to find something that you're super passionate about. That's where your niche comes in. What are you most passionate about? Because if you're just chasing the next trend, you're going to get burnt out pretty quickly. All right. So rather than chasing that profitable niche, it's more important to find something that floats your boat, something that makes you joyful because you're going to attract those kind of people. Okay. So if you're finding resistance, then just give it a shot because if the resistance is coming up, there's a good chance that it's something that you really need to look at. All right. So we've talked about the benefits: less competition, a more focused approach to marketing, attracting your tribe, which will bring you more success, and that you're going to be known for this. That's super important. One of the huge benefits is you're going to be known for being the go-to person for post-traumatic stress, being the go-to person for anxiety, okay? And you're going to get this steady stream of ideal clients and expand your reach. So let's talk about the 3 steps. Let's just jump right in now. The number 1 step, which I already touched on, is find your passion. That's the number 1 thing. What is it that you're excited about? If you only had one message to give the world, what would that be? Like for me, my big message is you are enough. This is what I want to let people know. You're enough exactly as you are. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anyone in particular. Just be yourself. Be your authentic self, and you're enough. That's my big message. That's what lights me up and allows me to continue doing this kind of work. Okay, so what's your message? What I would suggest if you're not sure is get a piece of paper and start a list of all the things that you're interested in. Your hobbies. Look at your bookcase. What kind of books do you buy? Look at the titles of those books. There is a clue there, okay? Ask your friends, hey, have you noticed a trend over the years that you've known me that I'm particularly interested in something, passionate about something? And most importantly, after you've asked your friends, check inside, right? That wise self inside. What does your intuition tell you that you're most passionate about? In fact, one little trick that I find very useful, just before you're going to drift off to sleep, you can just write down, what is my niche? Or what am I passionate about? And just go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and sometimes your subconscious mind will give you the answer. And I would trust that. I'm just going to take a little sip here before we move on to the second thing. So the second step in the 3-step process of finding your niche. What's your story? What brought you here? Why did you become a hypnotist or hypnotherapist? Why did you become a coach? Why are you running your business? Why did you choose to run this business? What is your big why? That's super important. So let's look at your story of how you got here. What happened in your life that maybe you had that dark night of the soul, okay? And then you pulled out of it. You have the solution to this problem. You can walk your talk. This gives you so much credibility and creates so much rapport with your ideal audience that they're going to find you. So, what is your story? Like for me, the reason that I got into self-worth and, finding your authentic self and just really accepting that is because I had a situation where I wanted to do something, and the people that I wanted to please my whole life found that that was not a good thing to get into as a career. In fact, they forbid me to do it. And what happened was I lost my voice. Like I literally lost my voice. I couldn't talk for 2 weeks. And that was a big message for me. I had a choice. Continue wearing the mask and being someone I'm not to please others, or step into my power and use my voice to help other people who are struggling with the same thing, with being their authentic self and not worrying about what other people think. So you can see I'm really passionate about this. That's my story. Now, some people will say, well, I don't have a dramatic story. Mine's not that dramatic either, to be honest, but it doesn't have to be dramatic. The point is you've been where your client is now, and you've gotten through it, and you have the solution to the problem. It always comes down to that. Can you solve the problem? And so look at your story and look for clues. What is it in my story that I've learned that I can help other people? And then how do I communicate that? And so specific scenarios that you've been in. For example, if you are helping perfectionists out there, you know that you've spent hours and hours and hours just trying to fine tune an article, for example, that you wrote. So you've been there and you can speak to them in your marketing. Hey, are you staying up past midnight trying to perfect a report or an article? I've been there and I know how to get you through it. Okay, so you see how it helps you with your marketing. So that is the second step. What is your story? And the third step is you can pivot. Now, why is that important? So many people will come to me and say, well, Helen, I don't want to choose a niche because what if it's the wrong niche? Well, guess what? you have permission to change your niche. You can pivot. And chances are, if you followed the first two, it's not going to be wrong. It may just need a little bit of tweaking, and that's okay. All right. So just give yourself permission to go out there and identify the niche and put it out in the universe and see what happens. And if you find that you need to fine tune it, then that's perfectly okay, because we're always changing. The world is always changing. And sometimes the universe has different plans for you. So maybe you thought that this was one part of the population you were going to focus on, and you're getting a different part of the population, but hey, you're enjoying it. And so you could embrace that. Okay. So let's just go over a little bit of the main points that we talked about. Number one is passion, passion, passion. Find your passion. Find what floats your boat, and embrace that and put it out in the world. And the funny thing is that you're going to just attract people that are just like you, before you learned what you learned. So that's the cool thing. The second thing is your story. Focus on your story. Sit down, write it out. If writing is not your learning style, then record it. Just for yourself, pull out your phone, record your story, and look for clues. Look for clues in the story of how can I solve other people's problems, people that have gone through what I have gone through. Okay? And then the third step is pivot, and know that it's not a failure. It's just feedback. And you can always tweak it. Now, take your time here. I want you to really reflect, go inside, and see what's true for you. And it is very tempting to go out there and research the most profitable niche. It's probably smoking for hypnotherapy, but for me, that doesn't excite me to work with smokers. Okay? Someone out there is excited about it, and that's who I would send people to. And that's actually another point that I wanted to make. If you are known for something specific, other people will refer people to you. Okay? And I've already had that happen with my practice. So you're known for something, people will refer people to you. Even if they're in the same line of work as you, they may not specialize. So I'm referring all my quit smoking clients to other hypnotists, and they are referring their self-worth clients to me. If they find someone that's struggling with self-doubt but still wants to put their big message out into the world, they're referring those people to me. And so it's really cool when that happens. Now, I will say though, even though I want you to go inside and reflect and find the right niche, I'm going to caution you to watch out for one big thing. Big obstacle. Do you know what that is? Procrastination. Yep. It's very easy to keep putting it off and thinking, I've got to do a little more research. I've got to do some meditation over this. I've got to talk to my friends about this. I'm just not sure. You know what, guys? That is actually the biggest dream killer, is the procrastination. Just do it. Take an action step. Go out there. Advertise your niche. Don't wait too long. Take some time to think about it, yes. But when the right time is. And just be honest with yourself. And if you're finding that it's too long, then just call yourself out. Okay? Just call yourself out. So those are the three main steps to finding your niche and securing your target market. Let me give you some examples of some people who are doing this really well. There's a hypnotist that I'm familiar with, and she decided that she wanted to focus on weight loss because she had a weight loss journey of her own. And then she started to niche even further. Rather than just doing the weight management, she's decided to do cravings. Now, that is actually a really nice niching down process. And you don't have to do this right away. Just find your niche first. But that's actually a great way to fine tune it. The more you work with these clients, the more you'll find out what specifically are the issues that people are coming to you for. And everyone's different, right? You're putting out some kind of unique energy that's driving these people to you, and you're going to get to know them even more and find out, it's not just weight management that I'm specializing in now. It's actually cravings. And the beauty of that is that when you go to do your marketing piece, then you can actually speak to that. Hey, are you watching TV late at night and suddenly have this craving for chocolate chip cookies? Hey, I know, I've been there. And here's what worked for me. All right. So you see how getting really specific with your niche will help you with your marketing and will attract raving fans because people will be like, hey, she gets me, right? And they feel seen. And isn't that the most important thing? People just want to feel seen. That's why they're coming here for us or to us. So, any questions? Pop into the comments and let me know if you have any questions at all, because this topic is just so close to my heart. And just while we're waiting for questions, I'll just share a quick little story. So, in my previous life, aka my last career, a lot of you know I was a professional organizer. And how I came upon that niche was I used to go to Toastmasters. And for those of you who don't know what Toastmasters is, it's a public speaking group where you go, you're not a public speaker yet, but you just want to get some confidence and practice your speaking. And I noticed, like they say to you, speak about what you know, talk about what is true to you, what you know, your passions. And I didn't know what my passions were. But at the end of my 10 speeches, when I looked back at all the topics, they all created this ideal career of professional organizing because I would talk about, organizing your space. I would talk about organizing your time. And that is actually what drove me to start my organizing business. And so then after doing my organizing business for 20 years and wanting to branch out into hypnotherapy, which is not that different, by the way, I was just decluttering homes and now I'm decluttering minds. So not that different. But when I looked back and saw the trend, it was self-worth. It was empowerment, you know? So that's just so interesting. Most of my clients are women and they were in the organizing industry too. So I'm just continuing what I was doing. It's a theme. And I think if you look back in your own life, you'll start to see these themes of people who came to you for specific problems, even though you weren't even doing that as a career or advertising it. So that's just a little clue. So any other questions at all, just pop into the comments and let me know. If you're enjoying this, by the way, let me know in the comments. Type yes in the comments if you're finding this helpful. All right. Well, I'm just going to wrap up now. You can always, if you're watching the replay, you can always pop your questions in the comments at the replay, and I will be happy to answer them for you. And we do have a question here. Evan, I love my niche, but I will definitely get in my head with the sub niche. Exactly. Yeah, the sub niche. So what you want to do is just niche down. Perfect. And differentiating myself from the million other people that deal with anxiety. Exactly. Evan's been listening. Yeah. Find your niche and then chunk down, chunk down. You want to narrow it to a point where people are like, yeah, Evan is the guy to go to. And I'm not gonna give you a clue on this, Evan. I want you to figure it out on your own because your wise self knows better. But if you want some help with that, you know where to find me. Because I do find that just talking with people, it draws it out of you. So not so much people telling you what your niche is, but having a conversation with people, and all of a sudden you'll hear yourself say something and say, "Oh, I didn't know that," but yeah, that resonates, and that's true for me. All right, friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. And don't forget, if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, my name is Helen Buttigieg from Helen Buttigieg Hypnotherapy and Mindset Coaching. Bye.